Welcome back. Now, this Tuesday morning, we're taking a parenting segment today. A very important conversation has to happen, especially with regards to creating a routine, especially, but not limited to, a child with special needs. Now, with us, we have Adebola Adefioye. She is Montessori trained educator, professionally licensed to work with individuals with special needs. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, first of all, let's give a little insight into when a parent, or what a parent should look out for to figure out if a child has special needs.
Okay, because it's not, it's a wide range. When we say special needs, there's a wide range. So I think I'll narrow it down to neurodevelopmental disabilities. What you should look out for, we call them red flags when a child is growing. One, not maintaining eye contact.
Okay.
Two is doesn't like to associate with others. Okay. And then has a repetitive way of doing things. And also has a deep attention to detail. What do I mean? Wants things done in a particular way. Once it's altered, child either cries or throws tantrums or just behaves in a funny way. So those are like red flags you need to watch out for. Yeah.
So essentially, eye contact is a very important one.
Yeah.
Disassociative personality,
yeah.
With other children or with adults or anyone?
Anyone, with anyone. Okay. And then, okay, you could also say sensitivity to different things, maybe to light, to fabric, to types of food, to noise.
Now, some of these things you just said sounds like the average child, but I guess there must be some extremes.
Yeah.
So what sort of period of time should a parent take to observe all these manners?
Okay, you could start from when the child is an infant. Okay, let me give an example. A baby, most babies, when you smile at them, they smile back.
Okay.
So when you notice your child isn't smiling back, even when you tickle and all, you know when you tickle a child, they move, you see them smiling and moving and all. But you just see the child move and he's keeping a straight face.
Okay.
That's a sign. You're wondering what's wrong with this child. That's something to take note of.
Okay.
That doesn't mean the child has a special need, but it's something you need to like pay attention to, you know, like that, little things like that.
So eventually parents go to a specialist like yourself and they're given this information. What is the next move? I'm seeing, based on our topic, that a routine is important.
Yes.
But how do you start creating one?
Okay. Now, when you know what is wrong with your child, you need to know what exactly is wrong. Once you know that, then you can think of creating a routine. Now, routine is, you can start as early as when a child is 6 months. What do I mean? Imagine when you have a child that when she wakes up, the first thing you do is put her on the potty.
Okay.
So that means that you want the child to poo. Once you do that over a consistent period, the child knows that once he or she wakes up, her mind or his mind tells him that I'm going to the potty. So once you put the child on the potty, does the first thing, and then the next thing takes a bath. So you started creating that routine already. And then as you continue like that, you don't break the pattern, because once you break the pattern, it takes it sets the child back. You now have to start all over again. Okay. But you need to consistently do it. Once you consistently do it, the child begins to flow into that. So even as the child grows up, the child knows, maybe when child is 1 or 2, he or she knows that when I wake up, the first thing I'm doing is going to the toilet. So, but now, because when child was younger, you were using potty. But changing to the restroom now, you need to take the child physically there and all that. So it's a gradual process. You just continue it over and over and over again. Yeah.
Okay, so creating this routine, even for, I'm going to go back to the fact that it sounds like the same routine for a normal child.
Yeah.
So I guess the only difference here is that you might get a major pushback from a child with special needs? Yeah.
The major difference is you have to do it more consistently. Okay. Now, if you do I'll call them, I won't use the word normal, I'll use a typical child. Yes. When you do a typical child, max 1-2 weeks, the child has gotten a hang of it and will probably do it like that. And if there are a few mistakes, maybe once a while. But the child that has special needs, it might take a longer time. Sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes 2 months, sometimes 3 months. But it has to be consistent. You need more time in building a routine for a child with special needs than a typical child.
Okay, so this schedule really, I feel like this schedule isn't really for the child, it's more for the parents. Because I'm guessing a child with special needs, as a parent of a child with special needs, you can't exactly leave that child with just any nanny or any housekeeper to look after. So this routine, who is it more helpful for? Is it the child or is it the parents?
It's for both. Because one, let's talk about the parent first. When we do create a routine for the parent, it makes the parent take it. After a while, he or she takes a step back. You can have a bit of relief from having to do everything for the child.
Okay.
And then for the child, it builds confidence and then independence in the child. Because once a child gets up and is able to do a sequence of things, he gets bolder, he or she gets bolder. He's more confident to be able to like step out and do things for him or herself. So it's for both, actually.
Okay, so let's touch on some parents who I would say fall into the, well, I guess they're in some area of denial. And of course, there is the whole God forbid factor.
Kind of thing.
The God forbid factor comes in here. You know, it's not my child, that's not my child's issue, you know, and meaning that they don't get to see a specialist in good time. They probably wait for a longer period. How do you begin to build a routine with a child who has developed to maybe 2 years old? Since you said we should start at 6 months.
Now, for a child with, that's if a child with that is 2 is still young. Actually, you can still work with that's still a toddler. That's easier compared to someone that is like 7 or 8 or 9. Yeah. So it just, in that case, it just takes longer, and then you need to be more firm because a 2-year-old child has emotions and is getting to understand herself and her environment. Yeah. So it'll just take you just need to be more firm and more deliberate. So you're talking to the child. You know, when it's a younger child, and infants, you just do everything. You don't even, yes, you can talk, but she's not, the infant isn't resisting, in quote. But a 2-year-old child can tell you no or dig her heels in and tell you, I'm not going. But you need to explain to the child, we're doing this, we're doing this. Just follow me, let's do this, let's do that. You know, so, yeah, so.
Consistently.
Yeah, continue. And then, like I said, be more firm.
So I'm just concerned if this actually helps change the situation. Does this improve the child? Does this help healing begin? Or is this a situation that is basically a constant that you have to learn to live with?
Now, healing is relative.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? When you create a routine for a child, creating the routine is the base, is the foundation for any other form of knowledge that child would have. Okay. Let me give an example. A lot of us, when we were growing up, we went to boarding schools. Okay. When we were going then, I'm sure we were rebellious. Nobody wanted to go. But after a while, we formed the routine. You wake up, you go for breakfast, you go to school, you go for classes, you come back, you know. That built the foundation for where we are today. So we realized when we are up early to go to work and all. So that's how it is for any child that has special needs. You're building the foundation for the future, for school work, for interaction with people and all that. Because when the child wakes up, goes to the toilet, maybe prays, has breakfast, would interact with you, the parents, before going out to the world. So like I said, it's building a foundation, for that.
All right. Now, I have to say thank you for coming to talk to us. I know that there are probably some questions out there that parents have. And, of course, there are some parents who are probably at their wits' end with what to do. Please send your questions in. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Even if you have been in any form of denial or you're in the God forbid mode, yes, still ask questions so that you can know what to do to get settled and get your mind on track. All right, we're going to be heading into the kitchen now. MM, how's it going over there?